Happy Monday, everybody. I hope you had a well-rested weekend. And today I am here to tell you a little bit about some Cyberpunk 2077 news. There were two stories, one about a lawsuit and one about a mod that came out. And then there was also a company was purchased that I thought I would talk about. Do my Monday collection of stories you might have missed. Some of these are fun. One of them are sort of fun. Anyway, let's get into it. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Please consider hitting that subscribe button, hitting that bell if you like these sort of videos and want to know when they go live. I am trying to get to 100,000 subscribers, get one of those cool button things, and I can put back there and brag about it to everybody. Anyway, let's go through these stories together, shall we? So over at Kotaku, they're reporting that CD Projekt has settled that Cyberpunk 2077 lawsuit and will pay $1.85 million. The lawsuit read that Cyberpunk was virtually unplayable on the current generation Xbox or PlayStation systems due to an enormous number of bugs. That was true. As a result, Sony would remove Cyberpunk 2077 from the store, and Sony, Microsoft, and CD Projekt would be forced to offer full refunds for the game. And 3, consequently, CD Projekt would suffer reputational and pecuniary harm. As a result, defendant statements about its business operations and prospects were materially false and misleading, and or lacked a reasonable basis at all relevant times when the true details entered the market. The lawsuit claims that investors suffer damages. And actually, they kind of hit the nail on the head about what happened with CDPR. They were misled. They said things that would happen at launch, they didn't happen at launch, and investors definitely lost a lot of money because of that. So 12 months later, the case has been settled with CDPR issuing a statement. Here is what CDPR had to say about it. Basically, oh my goodness. In the framework of negotiations concerning a potential settlement agreement, it's all legalese. This is not going to be fun. Let's just read what Kotaku just copy pasted the same thing. CDPR then goes on to list the reasons for the settlement, with the top spot going to the duration and cost related to further legal proceedings in the US. So like basically they would rather settle than go through the legal process because it's too expensive. As expressly stated in the term sheet, execution of the term sheet does not imply admission of any responsibility on the part of the company or any of the other defendants named in the case. The company wishes to announce that its decision to enter into this settlement agreement was motivated by the duration and costs related to further legal proceedings in the U.S., which might arise irrespective of the court's findings, acceptance of the key provisions of the settlement agreement by the company's insurer, opinion expressed by the U.S. law firm representing the company, and the other defendants named in the case recommending acceptance of the agreement, and the general practice in the U.S. of concluding such litigation by way of an out-of-court settlement. A reminder that this class action wasn't filed on behalf of fans or those who had bought the game on PS4 and Xbox One and been lumped with something unplayable. It was just by and for investors. So investors got their money back, sort of, whatever. Still, at the end of the day, CDPR had to pay up a whole bunch of moolah to people who felt misled. So I think anybody who ended up purchasing the game on the base PS4 or base Xbox One and had a bad time, you can take a little bit of solace in that. And of course, if you hated it enough to request a refund, you could have gotten a full refund. So that's good. Still, one of the most disappointing developer stories to date that I have ever had to talk about. I stand by the fact that I played Cyberpunk on PC. I largely enjoyed my experience with Cyberpunk. I love those types of games. I had a good time with Cyberpunk 2077 on PC, but those base consoles were just not an acceptable state at launch. And the investors have a I think if that case would have kept going, it's good that they settled, because the investors had a very, very strong case for misleading marketing on CDPR's part. And I think CDPR's lawyers probably knew that. So that's great. But there are still fans out there, and the fans, guess what they're doing? They're modding Cyberpunk 2077. Cyberpunk 2077 gets a metro thanks to modders, a quintessential bit of city living. Now, you'll remember the launch trailers for Cyberpunk 2077. They actually had metros that would go places. So this was something that we kind of thought would actually be in the game. And now modders have gone ahead and modded them in for CDPR, seeing they couldn't get to it. And as you can see, here's the little GIF. Oh God, I hate calling them GIFs. GIF of them in action. This website I always miss with my browser. There were 4. If you were ever frustrated, and then they talk about how you can actually get on them and then take them to different locations. It looks like it just goes into third person view. While riding the metro, you can switch between first and third person views, which is superb for getting a look at the city and how it moves around without you there. To use it, you just go through any of the existing metro fast travel points on the map, then interact with the gates to enter the station. From there, it's really just a metro station. The signs say where the next car goes, and you interact with the train and jump on. So this was created by, it's over on Nexus Mods. Oh my God. Keanu Wees has made it, and there goes that website. It's just, there's something about how the website was built that just destroys my computer for some reason. And the final one I wanted to talk about, just sort of collecting some of the stories that I didn't talk about throughout the week and I thought would be fun to discuss. Feeling a lot better today, by the way. The last one was Tencent buys Turtle Rock Studios in its latest Western acquisition. And it seemed like Steven Silla was the first one to pick up on this, so I went with Axios for the source. Chinese gaming giant Tencent is buying Turtle Rock Studios, the California-based makers of cooperative multiplayer games Left 4 Dead and Back 4 Blood, the companies announced today. Why it matters: based on the math of industry analyst Daniel Ahmad, Tencent has invested in over 100 gaming companies this year, nearly a third outside of China. Most have been minority shares, such as its investment in UK studio Playtonic. But in July, it announced plans to buy UK studio Sumo Digital for more than $1 billion, a purchase that recently cleared regulatory hurdles. Tencent is a mobile powerhouse in China and develops global standouts, including mobile and Switch hit Pokemon Unite and Call of Duty Mobile. Going into 2021, it's already owned all of League of Legends maker Riot and has 40% stake in Epic Games. The big picture: Tencent is setting itself up to be a big player in the PC, console, and overall Western gaming market. The company has been beefing up its presence of its Teamy and Lightspeed and Quantum Mega Studios in the US, and in July opened a new Teamy studio in Montreal. Earlier this month, Tencent revealed Level Infinite, a publishing label that the company says is dedicated to delivering high-quality games to a global audience. If you haven't been paying attention, Tencent has stake in everything, it seems like. They have 40% stake in Epic. I know Sony has a big stake in Epic also. Like they said, they bought 100 gaming companies this year. They probably have more real estate than any other company I can think of. I think they own more small companies than Sony does, than Microsoft does, and it really seems like it's just them gobbling up everything they possibly can. It's something that we should pay attention to and be aware of, and I do appreciate Stephen Totillo calling out the Daniel Ahmad post. Daniel Ahmad's that Twitter user I've referenced a few times on this channel, where this is happening. Why? It's just interesting, right? Because you think about Activision, you think about EA, you think about Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo, and all these companies and their subsidiaries and everything. And here's Tencent. They have now become potentially bigger than anybody else on the market. And is every company going to be owned by Tencent at some point? Is Tencent going to start making a console? Who knows? But Turtle Rock is the most recent. Turtle Rock made Back 4 Blood. Hopefully this means that they're going to get more support for their games. But Tencent owns a lot of the video game industry right now. It is something that we should be perking our ears up about and just listening about for now. Anyway, that was the news collected for this week. Thank you so much for watching. If you like these videos, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell to know when they go live. I appreciate every one of you who have subscribed. Thank you very, very much for helping me get to my goal. I also appreciate you members. Thank you so much to all the members who support this channel. I always upload these videos, no ads. So if you don't like the ads that are put on the videos, then you click that join button. You can watch the ad-free version. I'm going to get out of here. Yeah, subscribe. And I'll catch you for the next one. Bye for now, everybody.